How's it going, Sha?
Okay, I mean, you can see me this week.
Oh, yeah.
So I've managed to push the debris off to the side and find outlets. And for all intents and purposes, we are back.
Hell yeah. I like
Yeah.
it. I will say the Shalewa and Chaos YouTube cover did get good reviews though.
Who did it?
Yeah. But yes, I am glad the home front is making its way back to normal.
Yeah, baby steps. Right now, the guy is painting something in the back behind the building, so the back half of the apartment smells like paint, but that will be done soon enough. And really, after a while, I won't even smell it anymore. I won't. I won't understand why everything doesn't smell like paint. Why doesn't it smell like paint on the train or the bus or at work or anywhere?
It
Really,
should.
Why doesn't my food taste like paint? That's where we're moving towards. I think a paint-based society.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say there comes a point in like every renovation where like I just become like they just become family. Like I'm almost surprised when I wake up and I don't hear a hammer.
Mm.
Like no, they belong here now. They're just part of this. I don't know when they sleep. I don't know when they like leave. I just know I wake up, they're there. My day ends, they are there. You know. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You're gonna miss them.
Yeah, it's just there's one guy in particular who did all the work inside our apartment, and over the weekend a couple other guys came and they replaced some windows in my
Yeah.
landlord's unit, and that was fun to wake up to. Because I kind of heard because I was still asleep. Saturday, I heard the sound of a ladder kind of being erected and put up. And then I definitely heard the sound of that ladder sliding down to the ground and hitting every burglary bar on the way down because it wasn't set correctly. And I definitely felt my cat running the length of my body out of the room in a panic because she was sleeping in that window and she didn't know. So that scared her. But what I absolutely heard was the deep, deep sigh that came out of that man after that ladder fell. It was the deepest sigh I've ever heard. I was like, yeah, that's the sigh of a man who's been here we're talking like day 7 right now and
Yeah.
wants to work. And my man is tired.
He's done his part, I
Yeah.
need a break. I ain't mad at that. We had one of my dad's like handy people. This dude, I want to say, almost died in front of me like 8 times. Like every time I would show up, he was in the middle of a task and it did not look like it was going his way. Ever. And like he also knew that like, and this happened in like my like early 20s where like I lived in the house, but like I was, like I'm an adult. So like I would leave freely,
Right.
but I'm also a kid. So like I don't want to like do manual labor for fun. And like, you know, like, like as a man now, like if my dad or someone is working on my dad's stuff, yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, you need help with something? I'm with it. But like at 20, admittedly, like you had to ask me, like, I'll do it out of respect, but like I'm not volunteering
Right.
to
Yes.
do any of this,
Right.
And I didn't see the value or admittedly probably the joy that would have brought my dad, my bad as a person. But the person that like would regularly inspire me to work was this one dude. He's an older gentleman, and like my dad would only hire him when like no one else was available. And he was like, I like the guy, but he's older and he works slower than everyone else. So he's good at everything, but it's like when I pay him a day, I know that I'm getting half a day's worth.
Gotcha.
You know, just because it's a physical thing he's doing.
Mhm.
And I don't want to hurt his pride because he was dope once. Like I knew him when he was nice.
Right.
You know, so he's like, when I hire him, I pay him the whole thing because like he was like my age working for my dad, you know. So he's like, I know the dude. So
Mhm.
he's like on some pride shit, like, you know, I don't hire him unless I know, like, listen, I just want this done and I don't care about it costing me a little extra. But my dad would tell me about him being dope and these, you know, considerations, but all I saw was an old man that almost died over and over again. Because I feel like his time had come. I'm like, yo, like, you should be a manager. Like, you should be
Right.
overseeing these things. You can't, like, there was a day we had a tree stump that we had to get rid of. The tree stump was rotting.
Mhm.
So we cut the tree down and we're like, we had to get the tree stump out. So they had this machine that would like press against the wall and the stump, and you would jack it and it would put pressure to push the thing out.
Right.
And
Yes.
that seems pretty straightforward to me. One end should go on the tree, one end should go on the wall, and the pressure from you jacking the unit would, you know, press the tree out.
Right.
And my dad explained that to me the day before. Hey, this is what this guy's gonna use tomorrow. So just leave it out for him. I said, cool. I showed up, my parents were out, and it was in the yard, so he didn't need keys to get in. He just found the piece.
Mhm.
I showed up chilling with Gabby. We were dating at the time. I'm like in like, you know, joyous, like young love energy coming into my yard.
Right.
And I don't even go to that side of the yard. And I just hear this old dude go, "Oh my God." And I'm like, what? Hey, Gabby's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, that's just homie working. He probably just dropped something or whatever. But let me go check. I go over there. He's in between the tree and the equipment. So like the
Oh
jack
no.
is like stuck on his chest,
Oh my
applying
God.
pressure from the wall that he was jacking. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, like, I'm gonna help you, but how'd you get there? Like, you know, like, I can't help you until I like explain this to me. Like, because I don't want to make that mistake. I feel like there's never a time in that process where you should have been in that place. Like,
Right.
it's strictly to push the tree away from the ground. You serve no purpose being there. Like, are you taking one for the tree? Like, I don't understand. Like, I was so confused, Sha, and like he also like had this thing of like a lot of gentlemen in service from that generation of like uh he's all about being good service. So like
Mhm.
his instinct was always like, nah, everything's good. He would laugh. And I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, my man, like, you don't got to giggle right now. You are dying. You know, like, he was like, no, Gastor's good. I'm like, it's not good. Now, my man, like, that is going through your chest. Like, that can't be the plan. You know? And like, I'm like, yo, what do you need me to do? And he's like, I got it. And like, I was like, yo, trust me, like, I can help. He's like, nah, I got it. So I called my pops. I was like, hey, yo, Prospero's out here dying right now. He's like, what? I'm like, I'm telling you, there's no way he survives this. But he told me not to help. I'm calling you because I feel guilty not helping. But
Mhm.
he's telling me not to touch anything. I don't know if he has a plan, but he claims he does. And he's like, yeah, so don't worry about it. He's done it 100 times. I was like, I do not believe you at all. There's no way. He has done this before. But like over and over again, I'd find him like that. Like I'd come to the house and like he would be like he would be working on like the third floor, like the roof part and like the little attic area. And like I'd catch him leaning out the window, like his legs would be out the window and like his head would be in the building, and
Mhm.
like he'd be caught by the window, and like I'm like, yo, you good? And he would just yell, I'm good. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what good means. Like, this is wild to me, dude. But like I gained like a weird like bond with this dude because I saw him almost die a lot and still want to do the job. So like now, like he's like mad old and like he's slower than ever, but he still knows how to do certain shit. And like when we're doing like group projects, I insist on like hiring him. I'm like, yo, give him the easiest shit. But I just want to know he's still like alive, you know?
Right.
So like he like when we did the last renovation, we renovated in my building two of the bathrooms on different floors, different tenants' bathrooms. So like he did the rent. We had 3 guys working on the renos for the 2 bathrooms at once, and like I put him on garbage duty. And I was like,
Okay.
yo, like you just take out the trash, and like if you got ideas, like let us know because you a vet, you know this shit, you know.
Right.
And I told him like you in charge. I don't want you doing the labor. Just tell them, yo, you should do this, but like
Right.
don't touch a thing. I want you nowhere near anywhere that like take pictures, go study them downstairs. But yeah, just like take out the trash as slow as you want. Whatever you don't take out, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna take it out anyway. But I just need to know as a person that you are still alive and kicking. And he shows up, little like 70-year-old dude.
Oh my
out here kicking it.
God. That's wow. That's amazing and also terrifying. That's amazing and terrifying. Because I'll tell you what, when they were replacing the windows upstairs, there were some young, some young bucks around here helping out the fellow who had been working the whole time.
Yeah.
And they, they don't have scaffolding. So they literally have like a ladder on its side, and then they have planks of wood on top of the ladder to work as like the platform, and then they've got those on like just loosey wood beams, just holding shit up. and they're switching out like the windows, and I'm like, how the fuck? I don't even like. At some point, I did have to leave, and I walked and turned around and looked at the building. It was just like, I don't even know what is happening here right now. And they're all just like climbing like children on a jump. I'm like, what? This is a young but the fellow who has been doing all of the work, he's not young, but he's not old.
Right.
But he's not young. He's certainly like, I don't know, 30s, late 30s, maybe.
Okay.
So that's right when you feel a twinge in your knee that might be forever. Like you can't just shake it off with some Gatorade. Like it's like, oh, this might be the beginning of something. This, where you start making noise when you sit and stand involuntarily.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize it until someone else is in the room with you and they laugh and you're like, what? And it turns out you've been groaning for the past 30 minutes. So he's on the precipice of that. He's right there. And he'd been working all week anyway, doing stuff by himself. And then here come these 2 young people and they're putting ladders sideways with planks of wood on them and, rickety situation. Trying to switch out when I was just like, there's got to be a better way. Yikes. So that's why when he sighed, when that ladder fell before he could even climb on it, and he sighed, I heard the weight of the world in that sigh. I just wanted to go out there and hug him. Like, I know, baby.
That could have been him, yo.
I know, exactly. It was seconds before. I feel like he probably propped it up, put his foot on it, started to put his weight on it, and the thing just collapsed. And he was like, Jesus, what a way to go.
There's a way that like I've noticed that inexperienced young people approach danger that only works because they're young. Like they know so little
Right.
about what's possible that they walk differently on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas experienced people check for safety and they
Yes.
very quickly find the faults. So then like the young person's like, nah, that's not how you do that. If you would have done it this way, you would have been fine. And like the other guy's like, yeah, but if to do it your way, I have to do it perfectly every time. I'm trying
Right.
to survive regardless of like, so
Yes.
I'm verifying that the thing is perfect, not
Mhm.
my technique and the thing. Like, you know, there's a gap here. There's opportunity.
Right.
But,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a very good point. It's not just how you do it, it's how the thing that you're doing, the
yeah,
bones of that thing, that's
they
really
both
what you're
matter.
testing. Yeah.
And fun fact, scaffolding, wild cheap. We got our own scaffolding because of literally because of this dude. Because of the
Really?
hospital. Yo, because like we went to rent it and it was expensive. Then we asked how much it is to buy it. It was just double the renting fee. So we was
Oh.
like, yeah, we just like we have scaffolding for kicks. Like we just like, yo, like, yeah, fuck that. Yo, my pops was on some like, yo, on principle, I'm buying this shit. Like, yo, I don't know if I'll never need it again, but I'm never renting this shit twice. You out of your
You
mind.
said scaffolding for kicks. That's the
Yo.
name of the episode right there.
Straight up, like I had scaffolding up in my backyard for like a year, well after like a 2 weekend project. Just because like my pops was bringing people over to show it. Like, yo, look, that's how much it cost me.
How long scaffolding is supposed to be up anyway, right? Regardless of the job, it's supposed to be up at least 2 years. At the very least. Just cause.
It's a memento to the work that's been done, like proof.
Right, yes.
And
usually in that 2 years, they take it down, then 6 months later, they're like, oh, we gotta
put it back. I love it. To the OGs out there building. I will say, by the way, Prospero, 70 years old. He is the best 70 I've ever seen. Like, you know, like I'm talking smack because he's like an older dude and he's slower. He can still do more pull-ups than me. Like, to be clear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not dissing him in a general sense at all. I'm just blown away that like he is still putting his life at risk. But it's like it's the love of the game at this point. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
But now
the love of the game, lunacy, the love of the game. We call it what you will.
Yo, I told him, like, yo, listen, man, you could be a janitor. Like so many other jobs that are physical and safe by comparison. You know, there's no air involved, no windows, just look into it, But that's the homie. I'm glad your guy survived another potential tragedy that I know my
he's
guy
back there now painting something. So, he's okay. I hope he took a day to just kind of sit and stare into space, like what is happening to me. But he seems to be okay.
Oh man, let's get into the news.
Okay.
We got Fire Festival 2 tickets are now on sale, Sha. That's right. We got the founder of the disastrous 2017 Fire Festival, Billy McFarland, appears to be ready for round 2. McFarland, who served time in federal prison for crimes related to his involvement in the 2017 fest that fell apart in grand fashion, announced on his Instagram page this week that tickets for Fire Festival 2 are now on sale. And on Tuesday, he updated via his social media that the first batch of tickets already sold out. That's right. It has been an absolute wildest journey to get here, and it really all started during a 7-month stint in solitary confinement, no doubt. On Sunday, going on to say that he'd written a 50-page plan outlining how he'd make the impossible happen. Fire Festival 2, according to McFarland, is heading to the Caribbean sometime toward the end of 2024, but no specific date or musical headlining acts have been announced yet. Since 2016, Fire has been the most talked about festival in the world. I like that. Okay. We now saw this convert to one of the highest priced GA pre-sales in the industry. He wrote on Tuesday, the best logistical and infrastructure partners in the game are now partnered with him this time around. He has also specified that revenue from ticket sales will be held in escrow until the final date is announced. The Fire Festival in
Oh my
2017
God.
notoriously unfolded as a complete disaster after it was heavily promoted by social media influencers as a luxurious weekend in paradise where attendees would rub shoulders with celebrities, eat top-notch food, and see performers and artists such as Blink 182, Migos, and Major Lazer. But with
Hey, did you watch those documentaries,
hell
plural?
yeah, both of
Did you
them.
watch both of them?
Yup.
They like I loved those documentaries so much, especially the Hulu one.
Yeah.
The Hulu one was, I think I watched it first, but they at least, I think they got to speak with McFarlane. Whereas I think was it HBO? No, Netflix. The
Netflix.
Netflix one, they didn't, but they talked to people in the company with them who it wasn't quite as like, nah, it's this dude's fault. It was more like here's a wacky thing that happened. Whereas Hulu was like, here's the dude right here. It's his fault. And I'm not surprised that he would come out of jail and go and see that people talked about the festival and the documentaries, and I'm absolutely not surprised that he would see all of that chatter and go, time to do it again, because it seems to me like he only has like 2 to 3 plans in life for being a business dude.
Yeah.
One was that weird credit card scheme that he came up with. 2 is this festival. And 3 might be he came up with some other scam that was kind of like the credit card scam, but in prison. Like he did something in prison. So I feel like he had to stay in prison a little bit longer because he was bullshitting in prison, doing some sort of weird scam. So I'm absolutely not surprised that he would, his takeaway would be like, let's do it again. Because there's a thing I feel like there's no way this is going to happen. There's no way he's just talking shit, just trying to get people to give money, to pay whatever. But it's building up interest or whatever. It's never going to happen. But since watching that documentary, I've watched so many documentaries about these people with these lofty, weird ideas and ideals, and they just do whatever, and the people that fall in step behind them.
Yeah.
And it pains me to say this, but there might be another fire festival at the end of 2024. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. And I'm just like, there's no way that's happening, which means it's absolutely happening. I don't trust, I literally have to pull a Costanza right now and believe the opposite of my gut reaction. Do the opposite of what my gut reaction is.
Yo.
So my gut reaction is to be like, this is some bullshit, but I have to do the opposite. And I really think that this will happen. He probably hasn't sold out those tickets, but I bet at least 200 people have bought tickets. Because here's the thing you can't count on are people, like humans, like the human brain, people, feelings, emotions, money. You can't count on people with those things. And absolutely, there are people who watched that documentary and thought that, man, if I could be there, and now there's this,
Yeah, like I was like captivated by like similar, like this was really interesting to me. Inventing Anna was another one that really caught me a lot.
I haven't watched that yet. I want to. I read the piece that was based on. I tell you who got me, Elizabeth Holmes with the blood thing and the Theranos.
Yeah.
And that documentary had me yelling at my television, and then they made a TV adaptation.
Series,
and I watched that a few months ago, and that fucking floored me. I thought that show was so funny and so well done, but that documentary had me screaming at my TV like, what this bitch don't know nothing.
No.
It's clear.
and like it blows my mind because like it shows like the difference between like I don't know if it's like intelligence and smart. I don't know what the two
Mm,
words would be, but like there is a difference between like being intelligent and like understanding a concept and
right.
like street savvy and like awareness of other of like what others are like capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And those two things don't necessarily correlate, you know. So you had like, you know, whether it was in that case where like you had people that were legit like scientists getting
Mm-hmm.
duped because she was charming, or in Anna's case you had like legit like millionaires and billionaires, like financially successful people getting tricked by a personality, you know.
Yeah.
It, it,
Because she knew how to move in those spaces. If you
yeah,
know how to move in those spaces and do those things, you can get folks to kind of do anything. And the thing is, it looks like a blind belief in themselves, which
yeah,
is fine. What I would do with that, what you will. But what it also is knowing it's partial blind belief in yourself, but it's also knowing that the people will believe in you because they see that you have that blind belief in yourself. So
yeah,
you know that there will be people who will fall in line. And there may be ones that will question and you can just leave them behind because there is always someone who will believe.
yeah,
So that, I don't know if that falls under intelligence or street smarts because that's a way of knowing how to work people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is fascinating, but also, oh, the dude who ran WeWork. There was a
Word.
documentary about that guy too.
And like, so yeah, like, and that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, when I watched them, like, a part of me was like, I know they're trying to like make money these other ways. If
Mm-hmm.
they just showed people how to do that, they would be incredibly like well off. Like the skill to uh like create that level of self-belief is interesting. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the there's a part of that every successful person has. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm gonna start rapping on the
Right.
side after I'm done dealing this coke out of my car on Marcy Avenue, and I'm gonna turn that into $1 billion. Like that
Right.
sounds insane, but that's Jay-Z. You know, like
Yes.
like
Yes.
that was, like that is wild. Like I'm gonna just flip these bricks until I have enough money to record an album, and I'm gonna parlay this hip hop thing in the 90s that is borderline like not legal because it's a presidential topic because we're cursing too much and saying F the police. Yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
turn that into corporate money in 20 years. Like that is mind-boggling self-belief,
Right.
but admittedly he had real products,
Mm-hmm.
cocaine first, apparently,
Yes. Right. And then
incredible music and so on and so forth.
right.
But like there is like a level of like all the stories that I hear of people that achieve that, there is a part of that there. So like
Mm-hmm.
this was like a weird like kind of view into that of like what that looks like when you don't have a thing. And I don't know if you could tell it apart. I think that's kind of what happened. Like I feel like all of these people were people who at some point in their life have seen that in other people. Like I think to get to that level of successful in finance or in science or in business, you see every now and then a person like that. Like once
Right.
every like 5-10 years, a person with a business opportunity has that level of self-belief and is near you. And maybe you missed it the first time, like, oh, I saw it but didn't invest. So like these people coming through with that, like you trying to catch on it and you caught the wrong one. But the self-belief part was real.
Okay. So then are you talking from the point of view of the grifter seeing someone with that level of
I'm talking
self-belief?
from
Are you
the
talking about
the
someone who
grifted.
supports them?
Yeah, like someone who supports them, I could
Yes.
see
Okay.
why they fall for it. The
Right.
grifter, I genuinely think they believe it for a long time. Like I don't, I,
Okay.
I really feel like in his heart of hearts, this dude really wanted to throw the first festival. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no, I
know,
think he did. I don't think he planned on
scamming people,
scamming everyone.
Yeah.
I just think the work necessary and all of that stuff, that's not for him. He's a big pictures guy. He's not a nitty-gritty guy.
Word. And he messed up because his partner was another big picture dude. Like, you don't.
Yeah, you gotta pair big picture with nitty-gritty. You can't have two big pictures.
Real talk. You can't be
Who's gonna build the museum for the big picture? You got to have a nitty-gritty person.
Real talk. I promise you, nothing about Ja Rule says, yo, I'm gonna do the background work.
Yeah, I'm going. Let me check the credentials. Those are words Ja Rule's never said. Let me check the credentials.
That was it.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that you get these people to believe what you believe, and then they'll do all the nitty gritty stuff. That's why they go down first. That's why they go down first, because they're like, I mean, I was trying to, they're the ones with their fingerprints all over the stuff that's dirty. Because they're trying to handle that shit. Meanwhile, everybody else is trying to soar. So, and they're like, well, why can't we just do whatever we need to do to get this done? And so they'll do whatever's illegal, because they're like, well, we just need to take care of it. Just do the thing. I got big pictures. I got big pictures to hang. So just do the little whatever. Just do this little illegal thing. No one who cares? I've done worse, and. So yeah, I think he thought that festival would go on, even though the food wasn't locked up, or the places for them to stay, or the employment, like just all the people on that island that they hired away from different places to work, and then they didn't have any place. Like, he didn't care about any of that shit. And I can't say that I believe that after spending a little time in the Fed pen, he has learned how to care for that shit. He don't care. He came right back out with another big ass picture. It's the same picture we've seen before, but he ain't learned nothing from it. He didn't. He put it in a different frame and was like, "We gonna do it again." Everyone's like, "We've seen this picture. There have been documentaries about this picture, buddy. This ain't."
Fire Festival 2 gonna be fire. I'm gonna be there. Shit gonna be crazy. I'll tell you how I go.
It's going to be you, me, a bunch of dumbass people on TikTok. Oh, man. Were you... Oh, I was awake when those tweets started coming in.
Yeah.
Because it was like the middle of the night. I just couldn't sleep. That was a time of insomnia for me, and I just wasn't sleeping. And I was just like, wait, what? What's going on? Because I had never even heard of the Fire Fest. Right. So I was like, what are they talking about? And I saw someone mention that they, like, oh man, they're ripping them apart on Reddit. And I was like, well, let me see if I can remember my Reddit password. And I did. And I followed that shit. I was up through the dawn into the next day, just reading as it was falling apart. And I was just like, this is excellent.
Yo, I
don't know who's involved, but this is all fantastic.
The picture of just like the cheese on the Wonder Bread, I'll never forget that.
Cheese on white bread in a styrofoam container. That shit will, that will be in my heart always. I laughed so hard.
Oh man, yeah, and whatever happened to that dude, the guy that was like, I'll suck dick for water.
I know. I don't know. $10 and a ginger ale says he's going to be on the crew for this one. He's the kind of dumb blind, just the blind leading the blind, just following this guy.
Yo,
he's learned nothing. I bet he's also learned nothing.
Listen, come work for me. I promise you that'll never happen.
That's right. Gastor has a lot of big pictures.
Gastor
also does the nitty gritty though.
Yeah,
and that's why he'll succeed, but it'll take him a while.
That's it. That's all it is. You got to do the nitty gritty. I don't like doing the nitty gritty, but I know it's the job.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
At the least you got to do it enough to understand, yo, this is how I want the nitty gritty done.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
He had none of that. He was just like, yeah, like there's no way he looked at the sandwiches before those sandwiches got sent out.
Yeah.
No way.
No, he's just like, yeah, no, whatever. You said you'll do it? Great.
Cool. Get that out there. Bread and cheese.
And I'm sure they were like, he's not checking? Fuck it. Put them cheese sandwiches in there. I don't give a fuck. He ain't pay us. He wasn't paying nobody. Oh, my Lord. Like, it's right there, people. Any idiot who flies over there for clout or whatever, for whatever it is that the TikTokers say that this is for, Give me a break. Give me a break. Y'all get what you deserve. Y'all want to be out there with Ice Spice watching her burn in the sun trying to rap at you in triplicate. Do what you want. Oh, nuts. Won't be me, but y'all are nuts. Have at it.
Yeah, I love how Shy went from cautionary to fuck y'all. You deserve this shit.
Yeah, come on, you idiots.
Oh man, I love it. In other news, Mayor Adams orders social media blitz amid criticism over migrant crisis. Mayor Eric Adams is ordering all city agencies to promote a positive portrayal of his administration's response to the migrant crisis in a highly coordinated social media blitz as he faces mounting criticism over his handling of the issue. On Monday afternoon, city agencies were instructed to post a video that showcases the efforts of the city workers involved in helping migrants apply for asylum, according to an email from the mayor's digital strategy team that was obtained by the local news. The email included sample language to use while posting. It indicated that the request came from the mayor himself and that compliance would be tracked.
Oh my God, I can't with this dude. Fuck this guy. You know who's going to be at the Friar Festival? You know who's going to be at the Fire Festival. You can count on that. He bought the first like VIP tent. This dumbass.
The mandated social media campaign appears to mark at least the second effort by City Hall to dictate content on city government accounts, which are often used to communicate public service announcements.
Okay.
Adams has sought to have tighter control over his messaging and has employed podcasts, newsletters, and frequent social media posts.
Okay, so normally social media for the government is just like, hey, everybody, go to this place if you need this thing.
Yeah.
And he commandeered it and was just like, make sure everybody posts something about how cool I am.
Yo.
Having to do with this migrant thing. And to cut me some slack. And do it by 11 a.m. Tuesday. And I'm watching you.
Yo, my man had the Department of Corrections. They got nothing to do with migrant workers. They had
not yet anyway.
They had them post about the great work that Mayor Adams is doing related to that right now, yo.
Okay. There's a recent piece in the New Yorker that's like a long article about Mixie Mayor Adams. And you know, the guy who wrote it, or it may have been a woman, I'm not sure, did a good amount of research and spent a lot of time with Mayor Adams and was just like, yeah, he fibs a great deal. He stretches the truth. Not like just, I mean, not even just like full on lying, just because he seems to believe whatever it is. But there's a lot of, just dust swirling around with his stories. And it's what a person. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, I'm not sure it was a good look. I don't know. A case could be made that it's not necessarily a bad look on him, but it is not a good look. Like, I read the piece and was just like, this dummy. But then again, I did go into the piece saying this dummy. So, but at any rate, that is to say, this absolutely tracks that these are the kind of things that the kind of moves he would make of just like, make sure they're talking good about me on social media. Like, because to him, he's like, we've got these tools, let's use them. But like, we got to use them.
Yo,
and
I just did
follow them
just to verify. Like, I was like, you know what? Let me see how ridiculous this got. The exact same post that the New York City Department of Correction made in support of his mayoralship and whatnot, supporting and being a beacon for immigrants. I found the exact same post on the Twitter account for the New York City Sanitation Department. Like,
okay, so corrections and sanitation.
yeah, like both of those organizations felt the need to talk about the mayor's stance on migrants. Like,
wow.
yo, like think of, like that's so like not their realm.
Yes.
I follow sanitation because what they normally post is, yo, there's a holiday today. Don't put your trash out.
Right, yeah,
That's
exactly.
all they post is that. Yo, these dudes is out here cleaning snow. Don't put your trash out. That's their whole account plus this one video.
This is so. I mean, this is scary. On a level, this is scary of just like making them do this. And I'm glad that it's being brought to light. But it also, like, there's a part of me that understands that this is an overreach and this is scary, and no one man should have all that power. I believe a poet laureate once said. But part of me, the jaded part of me, is like, of course this dummy did that. Of course he's trying to win in the court of social media. Like, because he like that's what matters to him, is just like people going yay in public for him. He doesn't care about any of the other things, anything else. He cares about his people, whoever he's deemed his people, getting what they need to get. And then that most of all, he's getting some sort of shine and glory, and that the people in front of him or who are aware of him are cheering for him, that he's liked, and that, he's celebrated. And that's also not a good thing to have in a leader. Who cares about how you do your job?
Yeah, give people something to talk about, and they'll talk about it. That's all it is. Real simple.
Yeah. So based on what he's given us, this is what we're saying.
Yeah.
My man, you're at every party.
You know what I mean?
You're at every party.
You want us to talk about being a beacon for migrants in New York? Just go be a beacon for migrants.
Right.
Like, just do that. That would have been easier than this. Come on,
do the thing that you want us to believe that you're doing. Actually do the thing.
It's not that crazy.
But and there's a lot of big pictures in our fucking a lot of big pictures. Not a lot of nitty-gritty this week.
In other news, Michigan man suing Olive Garden, claiming he found rat's foot in a bowl of soup. Yo, this is that big picture. I gotta pay these bills, honey. I got a plan. An Oakland County man is suing Olive Garden for more than $25,000 after he claims he found the rat's foot in a bowl of minestrone.
No, minestrone.
Minestrone. There you go. I'll serve this shit, y'all.
I don't normally laugh. I'm just like, he'll get it, or I'll just tell him what it is. But minestrone instead of minestrone.
Is that not?
It's minestrone.
I see no accents on that.
You know?
I see no accents on that word, y'all. Minestrone soup. I feel like it's right. Okay? Yeah, and on top of that, the next word is at Detroit branch. Come on, Sha. You telling me minestrone soup in Detroit don't make more sense? Come on.
No, because it's still the Olive Garden. It's still Italian. It's still Italian.
Yo, the Olive Garden. Right? With the minestrone soup at the
It's so literal. Oh man.
He found rat's foot in his bowl of minestrone soup at the Detroit branch of the restaurant chain. Olive Garden denies it. Thomas Howie, 54, filed the suit after visiting the eatery with some friends between 6 and 6:30 in March. I felt something stab me in the mouth, and I wasn't sure. At first, I thought it was a needle. According to the suit.
Okay, so we came in there with negativity.
Yeah, yo. They do this all the time, you know. When he, according to the suit, when he tried to swallow it, he realized an object was hooked on the inside of his cheek, and how he said he threw up at the booth, regurgitated and leaned over to the side and found the wall. Yeah, once I realized that thing was in my mouth and I was chewing it. He then spit out the object and realized it was a rat's hairy, clawed leg when he looked at his napkin. Seeing the leg caused him to vomit. One of his friends asked for a manager, and when one stopped at the table, he said he didn't know what he could do and tried to take the rat's foot away, according to the suit. A second employee, also believed to be the manager, came to the table and commented, "That's funny. We don't even put meat in the minestrone." Howie and said he called the Warren Police Department and later visited urgent care. Police gagged when they saw the scene, according to Howie. No doubt. I went to the doctors and got a tetanus shot and some antibiotic mouth rinse. The lawsuit saw Howie got little sleep that night, and in the days following the incident, he felt nauseated, had diarrhea, and felt like he couldn't eat anything except crackers. In the weeks and months after, he suffered from increased anxiety and depression, felt like he couldn't eat meat, and stopped going to restaurants unless he could see the food being prepared. An inspection by the health department didn't happen until 2 days after the incident. However, an Olive Garden spokesperson said an inspection was conducted shortly after and no violations were found, adding that the branch never had issues with rats. We have no reason to believe there is any validity to this claim, said Rich Jeffers, the spokesperson for Olive Garden. And Howie's attorney says that he's confident that when the evidence comes out, Mr. Howie's story will be deemed credible as well as disgusting on the part of Olive Garden.
I tell you what, I hope this goes to trial. And I hope this goes to a jury trial. And I hope that the rat who lost its leg comes in as a surprise witness.
They thought they got me.
Just on crutches, just scowling at Olive Garden's lawyers.
And another thing. You didn't get my tail, okay?
Like, the idea of this rat, coming in on crutches with one pant leg, in a suit with one pant leg pinned up. And glasses, and looking over the glasses. and maybe with an English accent. What the hell?
Why not?
Maybe. But just, and then he talks about how tough it's been for him without a leg. This is, oh boy. I mean, I'm so sorry to this man if that is what happened, and a fucking leg. Blech.
Yeah, that's wild.
Blech. Yuck. That said, keep the rats off the breadsticks and we're good, Olive Garden. You still good with me?
Listen, I don't believe this.
You don't?
I don't. I feel like it's possible, but I feel like this man had a mission. Like, I need $25,000.
Yeah, it's honestly, that's a very small amount,
right? That seems like, let's settle. I need that amount of bread.
That doesn't feel like a lot, and it's telling that he said at first I thought it was a needle. Because then I would have but I guess he did say he vomited once he saw that it was a rat's foot.
Listen.
But then there's a picture, like there's the whole time you're on this page, there's like a video that's playing a news story of it.
Right.
And they've got like a picture of what I guess is supposed to be the food with the rat's foot. And I'll give you rabbit foot. I'll give you like a whole hind quarter of a bunny. But if that's from a rat, that's a huge rat.
My thing
maybe it was cooked. I don't know.
Like, if it's that big, I don't know what the minestrone soup looks like.
But it's just vegetable soup.
Like, wouldn't you see that on the spoon?
It feels like you would. Like, right? It's mostly, it's just vegetable soup. So it's just little like peas and carrots and potatoes and whatever, like that kind of stuff, tomato type stuff. Yeah, I feel like you would notice
a rat's foot,
a fucking foot.
Yeah.
If it's enough of a claw to get caught in your mouth, you'd see that on the spoon. Those spoons aren't that deep. We have terrible spoons here in America. Our soup spoons are horrible.
Listen,
we'd see that.
But I will say, like, while I don't believe this is what happened, I commend him for like saying, "Yo, I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna put a rat's foot in my mouth, long enough to spit it out. You know,
Ugh.
that's commitment. Like I've been down and bad and all of that. I've never needed $25,000 that bad. That I would put a real rat's foot in my mouth. I promise you. I don't know what that line is for me, but I know it's not $25,000.
Yeah, we're gonna need more than that, buddy.
Yeah, yo, I don't know.
25,000?
That's not it. Like, I don't know what
That's
the line.
not. I can't even get good dental work for 25,000.
Yo, and then you still and like because it's not even like just like you doing that and spitting it out. Like, you gotta do the whole thing. You gotta do the doctor's visit. You gotta do
yeah. You know, you gotta vomit. You gotta eat crackers. You gotta shake somewhere under a blanket, like, and get someone taping you do that. Like,
that's a lot. Yo, it's productive value. You know what I mean? Yo, man. What went into this lawsuit? You bought some black magic cameras. You know what I mean? You had to do some production work, some editing.
Also, you did it at 6, which feels like an hour early for dinner. You know what I mean? Like 6 is people, let's say people get off work at 5 and they want to go out to eat.
Yeah.
Even gathering up everybody, 7 is when it's going to pop off. But if you're an old person and you eat, you know, like dinner, to you, a late dinner is 5. So 6 is kind of that's a questionable.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to make a fuss. I just need the money. So what time can I come in and drop my little rat foot in the soup and make a hubbub and then leave, but I don't fuck up your evening rush. How about 6:30? How's that work?
Good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll get out your way. You know what I mean? Let's cut the check. We good.
Yeah. You got to ask for more than what you want, man.
That's it. This is way too exact, B. Yes. I don't know, man. My man trying to like literally buy a car.
Right, exactly. That feels like, that's not, you're not going to get a home on that, my friend.
Not at all. Even in Detroit, okay?
Yeah, even in Detroit. It's going to cost you a little more than that.
Bro, talk. In other news, United Airlines pilot filmed chopping a parking gate with an axe, and because he had hit his breaking point. That's right. Pilot with United Airlines is currently on leave after footage of him chopping at a parking lot gate with an axe went viral last week. Kenneth Henderson Jones, 63, allegedly gave the gate a series of whacks after hitting his breaking point while waiting to exit an employee parking area at the Denver International Airport. Jones told deputies he became upset after seeing multiple cars backed up behind all 3 of the lot's exit lanes. The incident, which took place on August 2nd, was captured in footage obtained by the local news. In the video clip, a man dressed in a pilot's uniform can be seen repeatedly chopping at the gate with an axe. It only breaks and falls to the ground after rising to let a truck pass through. The man then moves out of the lane's traffic and appears to walk back into the parking lot. Afterward, an employee of the parking lot reportedly confronted Jones and took the axe during a scuffle. Jones was apprehended by Denver police shortly afterward and charged with criminal mischief. In a statement shared with the news, the United Airlines said Jones has been removed from the schedule and is on leave while the airline investigates.
You got a 63-year-old man out here probably flying more than he's supposed to be flying. He just want to go home because he knows he's got to be back in like 5 hours to fly another plane. And let me tell you, when I was in Atlanta last month, my sister and I went out to eat and we parked at this parking deck and we tried to get out of there and that gate wouldn't work. And there were like 5 cars just trying to like circling around, trying to figure out what to do. And finally a woman got out of one and just fucking, and lifted the thing up for all of us to. So I get it. Sir. I get it. I've been you.
Real talk.
I've been tired and stuck behind a fucking, you know what I mean?
Especially after work.
After work, forget about it.
After work, he is justified, yo. Like, I want to know I really want to be in those negotiating meetings. Like, United Airlines and that union rep saying,
right.
Like, you got to let them back. We got to let them back? You gotta let him back. You know what I mean? Technically, it happened off the clock. First off,
Right.
you know,
Right.
like I feel like that alone goes a long way. He was trying to leave. You know what I mean?
He was trying to help out the others.
Yo, like that's a giving gesture.
Yes.
He was on. Yo, if you look at the footage,
right.
If you look at the footage, he's swinging from the other side
of the cars.
Of the car.
Yep.
So he's not even on the property.
He's not. There's no one really around him.
No one's around.
The only person he could endanger is himself. Or that gate could fall on him.
Yo. As soon as it was done, it wasn't even for him. He goes back into the parking lot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So put his axe up and drive out of there, I guess.
It. He's like, I did my
good deed. And then they had to
day.
approach him and try to get the axe from him.
Listen.
In a scuffle.
Yo.
Also, I ain't scuffling with nobody who's carrying an axe. I'm going to let you put it back from whence it came, and then we'll have a discussion. But I ain't fighting you when you have an axe in your hand and you're angry.
Yo.
And you're full of adrenaline because you just destroyed something with an axe.
Real talk. You've demonstrated willingness to use it. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. You good. Sure. You go on home, sir. You know what? I'll check on you tomorrow. How about that? You just take the night.
As far as I'm concerned.
You know I
mean? Pilot and landscaping. You know what I mean? You doing other work over here.
I'm not the kid. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, like I watched the video a lot. Like
a lot.
Yo, it just brings me joy because like you could tell he's asked other things. Like the technique was solid. You know what I mean?
Yes, right.
This is a pro's pro, man.
And
I'm
he
happy.
also knew where to hit it.
Yeah.
So that when it swung up, it fell back away from the cars.
Exactly. Yo.
My man knew what he was doing. Why are we mad at him?
Seriously.
Why are we mad at him?
He did everything right, you know?
Finally, a nitty-gritty guy.
Real talk. Nitty-gritty.
Nitty-gritty guy.
Something.
Yeah.
Finally, a woman says she fractured her ankle when she slipped on a piece of prosciutto, and now she's suing.
Lord.
That's right, a woman.
Come on, what are we doing?
A woman who fractured her left ankle during a trip with her husband to the Italian food emporium Italy in Boston last year is blaming her injury on a piece of ham.
Wait, how did you get prosciutto but you didn't get minestrone?
Cold cuts, baby.
Oh, wow. Okay. You know what?
Yo, I know sandwiches.
Nope, asked and answered. You're absolutely right. Okay. That's on me. I should have known. I should have known.
This. Yeah, they got
That is my bad.
My scoop knowledge is not there, Shot, at all. You talking cold cuts? Yeah, we can do this all day.
That's on me. You're right. You're absolutely right. Continue.
Alice Cohen was heading to an area where food samples are distributed to customers when she slipped on a piece of prosciutto and fell, according to the lawsuit filed in Suffolk Superior Court in Boston. Alex Cohen sustained bodily injuries and a loss of enjoyment of life, pain and suffering, and incurred necessary medical expenses for medical care and attention. Yo.
Ma'am, you slipped on meat trying to get free meat. That's what happened. Slow down. You know it's going to be slippery over there. It's where all the food samples are. Slow down. You ain't as young as you used to be. How about that?
Man? Calm down. It's still going to be there.
Exactly.
Her medical expenses, including hospital visits, physical therapy, have resulted in more than $7,500 in bills. Cohen and her husband, Ronald, of Guilford, New Hampshire, are seeking a jury trial and at least $50,000 in damages. Yo, these people.
See? She's asking for more than rat foot in the mouth.
Yo, rat foot, you undersold yourself, yo.
She get 50, you absolutely
50 G's
did.
For cold cuts?
You know what? I hope this goes to a jury trial and the same rat shows up at this one too.
This is where I get my lunch.
I want this, one-legged rat, because I think at the front legs is arms, because he'll need them for the crutches. I want him to make the rounds everybody who swears they've been hurt by animal things, animal food-based things. I want this rat there. I want a show about this rat. You know what? I gotta write out a pilot anyway. Let me go on and write down food rat.
If you would like to invest in Shot's pilot,
yeah, mm-hmm.
all you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple, Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't see the world that could be built around a rat that makes his living being a key witness in food-related issues. Okay?
Yo, this is really something. It's like a food rat Columbo I just wrote down.
5 stars, Rat Columbo, you know is going to be a classic.
Absolutely.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any articles you want us to cover? Please DM us directly on Twitter, X, or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte.
I'm sorry, did you just say Twitter X?
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. I feel like
no, you're right. Yes, the Muslim Twitter. Please contact us. Now,
man, by any means, feel free to contact us. Shout outs this week to Lori McDaniel, Winnie Locke, Iron Fist Mom, and Tanner Haley. Much appreciate all y'all. With all that said, I am the excited to voice the scam artist in this animated feature. Or is it going to be live action?
I mean, it depends on what them live rats are doing. How well are they trained? Let's see if any of them have taken the Meisner. You find a method rat. I mean, we can work with it. Tell me De Niro would say no. He'll work with a method rat. Absolutely, he will.
Oh, man. I am the just lost out of role to a method rat, Gastor Almonte. With the flipping through backstage for the best and most talented rat, Shalewa Sharpe.
Now, I can't say anymore because, we're all on strike.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I mean, it's a union gig.
It's a union gig. It's going to be a union gig. So, we just spitballing, but nothing's written down. Never mind that I am literally writing this down.
Oh, man. This has been a big picture episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.